Well, live and in studio, a summer barn burner.
Exciting stuff.
It's Halley's Comet these days. It's very rare. It's is a blue moon, super moon.
I was going to say, wasn't there some sort of celestial thing going on the other day?
Jack, what's up with Celeste? What happened to Celeste?
How much did you tip her?
What was it? Was it a blue super harvest moon thing?
This harvest moon.
How you been?
I don't know. Busy. I have 3 kids.
You have 3 kids in Calgary now. I don't want to blow your cover, but
yeah, I've had 3 kids in Calgary by myself.
Really?
So that's also exciting.
That's real busy.
She finally left.
We did. How do you feel about all that? Okay.
Well, we're going to work through it.
Go there. You talk about it? Why don't you pull back the curtain?
I saw a clip, not a clip, but one of those clip bait things the other day. Divorce coach. Like, how do you get this job? Huh? Jackie boy, what do you think? Divorce coach. Like, what are you working on?
This is pregame speeches, right?
Yeah.
We're going to get in there. We're going to get half that car. We're going to let them have the cottage, and we want the lodge at the ski hill. Let's go. All right, have a good one, team. Let's go. Short shifts.
A bunch of phony BS. Divorce coach. Yeah, that's what I want, is you motivating me for this.
Is it some sort of a way where you don't end up spending $500,000 to not agree on things anyway?
I would guess that the idea.
They sound awful.
Yeah.
Like, divorce sounds like a horrible idea.
Somebody said their buddy was selling a house to me yesterday. I'm like, oh yeah, why this divorce?
Oh. It'd be a great time to sell it. Yes, but this party isn't ready to. You're like, here we go. No fun. We've had a great summer. I saw your young fellows at the live show we did at Pro Skate, which I've been spending a lot of time.
Yes, it's a regular occurrence now.
My kids are growing, and I've really outthought myself. My one son is going to be a hybrid goalie, which means he plays half the games out and half the games in net. Half sounds good. It's really double because it's 2 sets of equipment.
Gear. You need a lot of gear now.
Grow through and grow out of. I'm like, I need some new skates. I'm like, did I buy goalie skates?
See, you got twins. You got to have them both in the hybrid system.
No,
and they just flip.
Alternate.
Yeah,
I'm doing this all wrong.
Get through.
But anyway, that was the last time we did a live show, Jack. I think is when we had the Pro Skate.
Yeah, before I got to go to Maple Creek.
How was the reunion?
Spot.
Or was it Uncle's birthday? 80th?
90.
Oh, it overpays out if you get to 90. I'm telling you that, friend. I don't care who you are. You get a 90th, you're winning.
Twin.
Really?
90-year-old twins. Vic and Ed.
Both
kicking.
At 90. Wow.
Yeah.
Are they carrot smoothies, sex swing? How do they do it?
For sure. For sure.
How are they?
A lot of kale in their diet.
That's right. All right. Boomer's not here. He's vacationing somewhere. I'm going to put Jack on the spot because someone asked me, Boomer's gone. I'm like, I think so, because he said he was flying back to Calgary on Saturday. And then, where is he? I don't know where he is, but I hope he's happy. And
I just heard from him.
Really?
Got a guest coming in next week for a big.
Have you been enjoying the long forms? We've trickled a few out this year.
Wow.
The Marcus Nilsson one aired.
Yeah, Marcus.
How'd the rest of that day go for you? You guys left the studio. I'm like, these guys could absolutely snap into a bender right now.
No, I don't.
But he was jet lagged, you said.
Yes, that's right. He was wiped that day. So I think he went back, and I took him back and had the Saturday night was.
We did 2 hours of questions to get 1 hour out of Marcus Nilsson. I don't know if you realize that. He was not a talker. And he's like, I'm very sorry, my English is rusty. I've not spoken
absolutely
English in many moons.
Exhausted. He forgot how to speak English.
He was great on the English. They're always so hard on themselves, the Swedes. I'm like, you speak better English than most Canadians. What are you talking about?
He did speak fine, but I think he had. I think he was working for
computing.
Yeah.
Yes. You could see the spinning wheel of death, so to speak. A few more of those set to come. If you missed it on Tuesday, because I think today's Thursday, we had the first half of our Flames top 10 prospects, which is a lie. We actually rolled like 20-6 in reverse order, and now we'll do 5-1. That's next Tuesday. This is all in concert with the website, FlamesNation.ca, counting down the top prospects from 20 to 1. So the top 5 prospects next Tuesday will be the show. And maybe next Thursday, you, Boom, and I could be in the same room at the same time, even in this studio potentially.
Oh, baby.
And
we'll see we'll got to see how the construction's going before we invite Boom down.
Major plot twist, not done yet.
Son of
that half road that was torn up 3 weeks ago, still torn up.
There doesn't seem to be a lot of fellows out there, people working on it right now.
No, they've got a lot of resting equipment that they're paying for, and it's not being used, which means it's not going to get done any sooner.
We got to get into this construction business.
It's a hell of a racket. These have been our opening thoughts. It's a lot of serious conversation for our friends at McLeod Law. Call Peter Klein, 403-254-3864. Visit McLeod-law.com. That's McLeod-law.com. And on the socials, at McLeod Law LLP. Peter Klein, the personal injury guy. But also, if your long-term disability insurance company's messing with you, get paid on the case. Also, Shane King, a partner in their litigation and dispute resolution group. Employee rights, things like that. You've been laid off. Make sure you're being treated the way you're required to be treated by the law. And of course, Shane always using practical language and normal words, not legal jargon.
Mumbo jumbo.
Mumbo jumbo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where that word came from, but I think we all know what that means.
There's a lot of it.
Yeah.
See, he's like a legalized divorce coach. He knows what he's doing.
I don't know if he does divorces, but if you're divorcing from your employer, I think he does that.
Yeah. It's just a different.
We had one of those once, didn't we? Would have been nice to know Shane back then. McLeod-law.com. We have had fun this summer. I've got a quick photo to illustrate my summer. Who are our pals in Strathmore that they're invading Calgary?
I think there's
beer.
They got a beer.
Origin.
Yeah.
Origin. They, of course, have got the new tap room in the Northeast. The old Common Crown space. Of course, they're still kings of Strathmore. This is, if I could give you one picture for my summer, that's pretty much. What have you been doing, Ryan? This is what I've been doing. That's my niece there, and that is a Barn Burner Blonde, which is becoming available more and more places around town. I had a nice Origin on tap last night at a local establishment. Don't be strangers. Check out our pals at Origin Malting and Brewing. Ask your favorite liquor store, restaurant, bar, pub, whatever it is. Bring it in if they don't have it, because it's some of the best stuff out there. I think it's the best blonde in the city. I'm gonna stamp it.
Hottest
Put my stamp on it. It's the hottest blonde in the city.
Celeste.
Celeste. That's right. So that's what my summers looked like. We did have a little hockey chaos. That offer sheet was kind of fun. In fact,
but how mad were you when you woke up to that? Because it didn't have a Calgary Flames attached to it. Like if you'd have woke up and Conroy had slapped that out there, you'd have been like,
just because Boomer's here, you don't need to be negative. I was happy, but I would have been ecstatic.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was bad.
I think the Flames considered it. I don't know. They didn't have their own third that they was required to do the Holloway offer sheet, because it's tied up in some really unlikely condition with the Montreal Monahan thing, which continues to haunt the Flames, by the way.
Oh, good.
So that wouldn't have allowed them to do both, or they'd have to make a trade with Montreal to get it back, but then you got to pay more because Montreal knows you're up to something. Oh, you want your own third back? Okay, well, we're not.
They would have done it.
Sure, but you'd have to give them more than you should, because they're the only team that owns your third, and you need your third to do the offer sheet.
I just wondered if those kids weren't too excited.
But I think they considered Broberg. It's a really challenging evaluation, because if you'd asked me what Philip Broberg was in April, I'd say, well, he's a guy that couldn't crack the top 7 defensemen on the Edmonton Oilers. And he's
just not
24, and he's a first rounder that they passed on Zegras, Boldy, Caulfield to take this kid. It looked like a reach then. It certainly has played out to be a reach. Oh, we need D. You could trade Cole Caulfield for a lot of D. But so I would have said he's probably, neighboring on bust territory, that this is now turning into project and less prospect. But then they drop him into the Western Conference Final against Dallas, and he plays top 4 minutes. He looks great. And then against Florida, he's playing top 4 minutes ahead of guys like CC. Like he legitimately had no trouble with the pace. He's 6'3", he's super mobile. So the truth's probably somewhere in the middle, but like you could have made a really compelling case at points last year. He's absolutely a top 4 defenseman, and he could be a top pair guy. And you could also have made the case he's not good enough to be in the NHL. So I love the Blues bet they're making, because I think playing as well as you did on the stage you did at that time isn't easy. But it wouldn't have been more than a month prior where it'd have been like, yeah, I don't even know he's a prospect anymore. So I don't know what to make of it. I love it. I think it's great. And really what it does is it's a GM using the tools they've been given in the CBA to try to go get talent.
It up again. Yeah. Yeah. I think it should happen more. We all do.
And I think we will see it more because
I just feel
used
like
to be an old boys club, these GMs, and they'd go drinking together and they all used to play together. And I just think not unlike baseball, like the old, they used to joke that if you wanted to break news in the baseball industry, you go to these winter meetings, and all the GMs get blasted together at the same pub, and that's where deals would get made. Mm-hmm. That culture's gone. Like people are saying, oh, Doug Armstrong wouldn't have done this if Kenny Holland's there. And I was like, okay, well, that may or may not be true. But the point is that there's more guys that don't have relationships like Doug Armstrong and Ken Holland do left than guys that do have those. Perfect. They're not pals like they used to be. Yeah. And so I think they're not worried about making someone else's life miserable as much. Now, there's got to be unique situations where offer sheets even make sense. The player has to be in a certain spot in his career. There's got to be a team in a cap pinch. They can't file for arbitration. They're very, very small instances where they actually could be used, but I think that we'll see them more. I do.
And speaking specifically about this one, I just feel like the Flames probably were sniffing around it.
Yeah, I talked to people.
Has to be someone where it's like he can't play an R.
You're telling me that Daniil Miramanov can play top 4 minutes, but Philip Broberg can't? I'm not buying that.
Yeah, sorry.
And, there's a left-right thing, but Mackenzie Weegar's a right shot guy that's played the left the whole time. Right. Put him back to the right if you need to.
You're overthinking of defensemen aren't that deep that you should be overthinking them.
I agree. And if the St.
Louis
Blues
got to want to come here too. Like if there was a couple different options.
He was offered 1.1 and his ask was 1.8 and he ended up getting 4.58. That's what's been reported, if my numbers are correct. So I think Philip Broberg is going to 31 other NHL teams with that offer sheet at 4.58 million versus the 1.1 the Edmonton Oilers offered him.
Yeah.
And I get it. They had leverage. They used it. The only thing that Broberg could do to get more than that was file for ARB or sign an offer sheet. So good work on the agent. He got his player almost a 400% raise on what the Oilers were offering.
Wow.
Good for him.
Good for the agent, but also good for the kid. And also, here's a gift. We're going to play you in the finals and need to use you because the rest of these guys can't keep up.
And I think he's probably was sour at points because he sees that, look, CC's not a great player. And why don't you move this guy and get me in? Like, I'm in the minors here. I'm a first rounder. I'm ready for the NHL. And they didn't bring him up much. Like, he hardly got a sniff of the NHL last year in the regular season.
But then the Oilers make those moves, and everyone thought,
as soon as the CC deal goes, and you're like, okay, they're definitely keeping Broberg. It's probably a little too rich for Holloway, who might be a good player, but has yet to be a top 6, has yet to be a center at the NHL level. You can replace a third-line winger. You just can, and they did. Like, I don't know that Vasily Podkolzin's the exact same, but it's a reasonable facsimile of the role that Holloway was playing. But Broberg is like, if he's a tougher guy, that's a deal at 4.5. You can't sign top but so as soon as they move the CC money, you're like, well, they're going to do it.
Were you also surprised? Yeah.
And then the longer I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? Maybe they think with that cap space, because Puckpedia is sort of the new cap friendly. They kept updating. Here's the financial situation. After that trade, they are like $59,000 under the cap. They could accrue cap space, and by the deadline, they can accrue a maximum of $4.4 million. You can find your right shot second pair D with $4.4 million of cap space.
Yeah, you're probably not. You can say, I don't give a shit about the regular season. I'm going to have a guy come in at the plate.
Yeah, I'm going to go right up to the deadline, let someone else pay 2/3 of the salary, incent them to pay half of what's left, and I'll get some guy at a knockdown rate.
Run the risk that you don't
2 seconds, 2/3. And yeah, you run the risk of you get injuries in your top 3 defense. So you don't have the top 4. Now you're really thin. Now you got Troy Stetcher playing top 4 minutes. Bless his heart. Not what he's best used.
Love you, Troy.
Love you, Troy. Former Penticton. But I thought the more they didn't match after that trade, the more I'm like, I think he covets the flexibility more than he covets Philip Broberg.
Which might be, I watched Philip Broberg play, 80 minutes?
Yeah.
In my life.
And he looked great.
Yeah.
But do you know he can do that 60 times? No one knows in the NHL. We haven't seen it.
Not a clue.
Yeah. It was interesting as hell. I loved it. I do think the Flames considered it. I think it's the type of move they should be considering. They've been swimming in cap space. They have more UFAs coming up that make legitimate money, like Kuzmenko is in the final year of his deal. Like there's going to be an opportunity for the next 2-3 off seasons to do stuff like this and weaponize your cap space, which we've talked about forever.
Hasn't really happened yet, but I think they will.
I mean, yeah, they're paying Markstrom to be elsewhere, and theoretically that should have sweetened a deal versus not. We'll see what Kevin Ball is. We'll see where that first round pick ends up. But that's not really weaponizing your cap space the way that we're talking about. Yeah. Not the whole we'll take a second rounder with Shane Goss to spare for the last 2 years like the Coyotes did. While we're on it, let's pull up the Flames forward lines. Why have
they changed a lot?
No, I'm just there. It is an
we get depressed looking at this last time.
We did. It is an absolutely huge season for one Calgary Flames forward more than any other, and it's not close. And his name is not in the lines here, and it's not Matt Coronado. It is the forgotten man, Jacob Pelche,
first rounder.
26th overall in 2019. He is now 23. Why is it a big year for Jacob Pelche? Well, it's a big year for all these guys. They got to make the team. Injury, blah, blah, blah. NHL. Jacob Pelche requires waivers this year. Jacob Pelche will not pass through waivers this year.
No.
I think a team like the Islanders, even someone like the Oilers, like this guy's going to make what, $900 and something thousand, and he's first round potential. That's coming off injury plagued season that everyone loves the skills and the toolkit, like the tools. Like that's the exact type of guy teams would snap off waivers immediately.
Yep.
He's young. He's yet to get significant NHL minutes, and there's lots of success at lower levels to suggest he could be a good NHLer, and he's cheap as chips. Like the Oilers are the oldest team in the NHL. This is a way you get younger.
I don't think he gets to the Oilers because doesn't it go?
It would go reverse order. My point being is he's going to get snapped up by the first team in waiver priority, I'm guessing. Or there's no way he clears waivers. So if Jacob Pelche isn't one of the best 12 forwards, he's in a bit of trouble. 13 or 14 forwards, he better be in there. Or it's like now Craig Conroy is in a tough spot where it's, do you risk losing Jacob Pelche for nothing and give him a spot over somebody else that's earned it? That's your worst case scenario if you're the GM and the coach, because you want this to be a meritocracy, but you also don't want to lose an asset for nothing. It kind of has like Juuso Välimäki vibes. Juuso had a very different injury scenario, but it was like he didn't have the reps, and the injuries kept him away from establishing himself as something at the NHL level
for nothing.
And then they couldn't find room for him, and they lost the asset for nothing. You can't have that happen again.
Is he good?
Juuso?
No.
Pelche?
Yes.
I think he could be.
Like last year, did he not have a really good camp and then he got hurt?
He got injured. The shoulder took him out, I believe it was a shoulder, from preseason or training camp through to, I think, around the new year, where he got some run with the AHL, but 18 games in the American League, 12 points, 5 goals, nothing huge. He was basically a point per game player the season prior in the American League. That's a great indicator. If you're in your 21-year-old season, you're a point per game AHLer, you're ready to move on. That's exactly you've done what you're supposed to do, first rounder. Now come to the NHL. But he couldn't get a foothold in the NHL. It was a bad season for an injury to happen. And then he only got up for 13 games in the NHL. He had 3 points. And he got hurt again when he came back. It was the Trouba hit, like was it first game back? And it's like, I thought, and then I saw him in the AHL playoffs live, and I'm like, he looks a little timid. And I don't think he is, but you'd understand that last year might have been a spot where you could justify him playing that way.
Yeah, and I would throw that out the window if that is what people were seeing, because, well, unless that's been a history.
I think it was a thing that last year was troublesome.
But what about 2 years ago?
Didn't see that at all. And so you're hoping it's just, okay, he's having a horrible injury plagued season, and it's unfair to expect him to be at his best. He's had 2 major injuries. Brett Sutter was on the In the Dome podcast. I'd recommend everyone go check that out. Our pals that are here on the same network as us. He said he's expecting a monster year from Jacob Pelche. I chatted with Troy Stetcher when he was here a few years ago. He said, man, like seeing Pelche in practice, and because I think they were both probably skating together at times. And he's like, that kid's going to be a really good player. Like, he is very, very highly regarded with his skill set and the player that he could be. But
So
you better have a camp, son. You better have a hell of a training camp and force the coach to sit a Dewar, a Rooney, and Lomberg. I don't think is a guy that's going to play 80 games. I think it's like, okay, there's certain games where you need his sandpaper and burr under the saddle. Like, you didn't see a lot of Lomberg in the playoffs. They spotted him here or there. You're not as deep as Florida.
Which side is Pelche?
He's the left.
So
there's one spot I want to put him more than any other.
Pospisil?
No, it's with Backlund and Coleman. That's the best place for a young winger to play. And these lines are jumbled, and we don't know if Igor's a center or Zeri's a center. I don't know that Walker Duran necessarily makes the team.
I just feel like you can absolutely put Pospisil down on the bottom line and a Pelche with Kadri. I know you like him with Backlund and Coleman, but Jesus, if Kadri can't carry him.
Yeah, no, there's lots of places you could put him. The question becomes, if you're going to put Jacob Pelche somewhere, who are you taking out? And remember that Matt Coronado, Matt Coronado, a right shot guy, he's had a much better year than Jacob Pelche at both levels. He came back after a long stint in the A, and I thought Coronado looked like a much better NHLer. He's 1 year removed from college, and he's a point per game player in the American League. He was a great year.
So they've overdone it.
They haven't overdone it.
They've closed doors on the young kids again.
No, you've got competition for jobs.
I think you've got Walker Duer locked in on the spot where
I think he's gone in the sense that, like, he could be your 14th forward if you want him.
Yeah,
but I guess
if I'm going to
lose, these lines aren't how it's going to look.
I understand what you're saying. Have a camp and absolutely do, and you don't need to be on the fourth line, Jacob Pelche.
Right,
but you're not losing Jacob Pelche over Walker Duer.
No, you're not.
At any,
you're just absolutely not.
It's not happening.
Never mind, like the Dryden Hunt, even Kevin Rooney. Like, if you have Sharangovich and Zeri play down the middle, you can live without Kevin Rooney. Or he can be your 14th forward or whatever. Like, he played a full year.
You're going to manipulate that lineup differently, meritocracy or not.
Yeah, but it's a guy where it's like all of a sudden injuries have put him in a spot where you're like, already this is a waiver decision guy. Like, shit. I thought he'd have established himself as an NHLer by now, and if he was healthy last year, maybe he would have done that. But it's like all of a sudden that's a spot, because if you say that Pelche and Coronado are top 9 players and they need to work with some skill, they're not grinders and muckers, I'd say that's probably like the first round draft picks. They've got great skill sets. That's where you'd like them to be. You're pushing something awkward out of the top 9. And Pospisil's a guy that, yeah, sure you could, but based on merit, no way you doing that. Yeah,
but his merit is based on his work ethic, and his work ethic doesn't have to, right? Like, he had a really good season last year. I don't know what he got for points, but if you're relying on him for points, I think it's a bit misplaced.
I agree.
Now, over a couple of years, if he continues to produce, sure, okay.
Yeah.
But
there was a chemistry with him and Kadri, and you saw that with Zeri, and then you saw it again when they had Kuzmenko on the other side of them. But I don't think that Pospisil would change if he was playing with Rooney and Coronado.
Rooney stands out to me as the odd man out. I don't know his game. Yeah, I'm saying Lomberg and Pospisil out there acting like pricks is a nice, and I think they need that. I've talked about that over the last couple months, where if you're going to have this type of lineup where there's not a lot expected, somebody has to bring energy. On a game January 15th, when you've been out of the playoffs for 6 weeks or 8 weeks, you can't go through the rest of
we saw it twice last year. They started off the season 2-7-1. They got dressed up as a bunch of hicks at the outdoor game. It was the rock bottom. And then Pospisil and Zeri get put on the line with Kadri, and that energy changed everything for that line. And from that point, where they were probably 30th out of a 32-team league in the standings, they worked their way all the way within a point of a playoff spot in mid-February. You also saw around the All-Star break, Pospisil got hurt. He came back after, and he was gone. You were just like, something's just missing. And then he was back, and you're like, that's what it is. It's that spark.
Yes.
He's not Matthew Tkachuk, obviously, but Michael Backlund always talked about he liked playing on a line with Tkachuk because he brought you into the fight. You couldn't just go do cardio back and forth and be in the right spot. You emotionally became invested in the game because of the shit Tkachuk was stirring up. Pospisil has that side of the Tkachuk game, not the points in the offense, but the force you to invest emotionally in the game.
And don't kid yourself. There's going to be injuries to various people. The lineup will change. Your Huska's going to try different combinations. If you're looking at that, like, is Mantha going to produce?
He better. It's the only thing he's here for. Like he's
but
he's
what's the
6'5",
what's the record of
5'6".
him producing? Like he's moving around a lot because
he's dripping with talent and hasn't put it all together.
Exactly. Yeah. So we look at the lineups and it's easy. So this guy, that guy, what are you going to do? It's going to change so much.
Totally.
It'll be mix and match. I
have a crazy idea. Put those lines up again. Because I honestly, Kevin Rooney and something that is similar to Kevin Rooney is on waivers every year.
Yes.
Lomberg can come in and out as you need the spark. Walker Dewar, we saw as good as he could be. It was that year in the 2-year deal.
I was disappointed in him
last year. One of the flatter performances of all the Flames for a guy that had to be an energy guy. He was the Pospisil from the year before in the small sample you had him. What if you put Zary in the middle and Pospisil centered the fourth line? Now you've got Coronado and Pelche playing in the top 9 on the wings. You can put Pelche on the back of the line, and you can allow Coronado, a right shot finisher, to play with some skill on a Kadri line or on a Zary line. Because I think Igor can play center, but I feel like it's out of necessity, and he's got a rocket of a shot. And I feel like if you go put him on a contending team, he's on the wing for all of them.
See, you could coach.
Husky, write this down.
Phone him. Call.
And this is one version. This is from dailyfaceoff.com, but every different website has a different alignment on the Flames forward group because we've never seen it together. And as we talked about, they have 2 real NHL centers and a bunch of question marks. Rooney's a 5th center in most organizations or an AHLer. Zary may be a center, may not. Pospisil may be a center, may not. Sharangovich can play center, but I prefer him on the wing. You've got to find 4 centers. And because there's all that flux, you're going to see depth charts that look different everywhere. But my dream for the Calgary Flames is to have a Pelche with Backlund and Coleman, the best place for a young winger to learn both sides of the puck and be, with 2 guys that play the right way.
Here's a question for you. And it's totally thinking out loud. Do you like Backlund's easy to play with?
Yes.
You learn both sides of the puck. Is that what you wanted of Pelche?
Yep. That's the
is that his
since they was drafted, I've sort of thought if he wants, I don't want to cap him, but if he starts on that line like Kachuk did and like Mangiapane did, they can move to other lines later and play a different role. But if you can play on that line with those guys and play against other teams' top lines, be loaded with defensive minute, like you're gonna be a really, really good NHLer. The offense is not what you're looking at. You're building a complete hockey player. That's the foundation I want for Jacob Pelche, that he, at minimum, he can be an excellent checking third line winger. And then if he succeeds there, by all means, give him more offensive opportunity elsewhere. It's just the best place for a kid to get.
You just ruined my opinion of you as a coach. So now you're capping the kid. Jeez, he's third line. Shut
even on the top 12.
Way to go.
Trying to keep him out of the minors here, guys. Trying to keep him out of the minors.
Don't listen to this guy, Pelche.
That's as Flames as we can get on this 22nd day of August, I think.
Yes. That's heavy Flames. That was good.
Big into it.
I mean,
we're going to need some nonsense here, aren't we?
We need Conroy to make some weird moves. Then we could talk.
This is Flames. PTO season. I saw the Penguins offered some guy who needs to buy a vowel for his last name a PTO. That's where we are in the hockey season. Like it's crickets. It's not even PTO season yet. It's like, ooh, that's early for a PTO. We're absolutely in the middle of the desert. That offer sheet.
You know what today is?
Oh, what's today?
Pumpkin Spice Day.
No. What? In August?
It's out.
Does that mean we're selling Halloween shit at Costco?
Is autumn started? What is autumn?
It would be the
is autumn the same as fall?
The equinox? Are we talking about the equinox? Because we have the solstice is
we're a month away, Rhett.
Yeah, you're off by a month.
Well, the pumpkin spice is out.
Are you serious? They're actually pumpkin spicing right now?
They were talking about it behind the baristas. We're talking about it. Said it's out because it's autumn. And I'm like, oh my God.
It's not autumn. Like you're ruining
There's too much pumpkin spice.
Kids go back to school in a week, though. That's messing with me. Have your kids, are they enrolled in school?
No. A week, you said, right? How long is it? What do you feel?
I don't get stressed. Like I'm pretty easygoing. My wife does a good job of carrying the stress for the family. Your lack of organization stresses. I'm getting secondhand stress from you, and I don't get stressed. I'm chill. Like I like to debate about sports, but I really don't. I don't stress about shit. Like I understand. I have a very wonderful life. I'm very lucky. I have lots of great people. I do what I love for a job. Like how lucky am I? All this other stuff. It's just little stuff we shouldn't be stressing. I'm getting secondhand stress from you.
Jack, you stressed out? No.
Like, do you know what school your children will go to this year?
No, sir.
That is next week.
Why do they have to start next week after the long weekend?
They don't have to. You're right. They don't even have to go to school. I mean, I think they actually do have to, but I mean, maybe you could homeschool them. AI could teach them, right?
AI is good.
That feels like a Rhett thing to do. We need some dumb in our life. Let's get to the
Sounds
Pinder
like we
Report.
already have some.
Different kind of dumb, a less stressful type of dumb. The Pinder Report for our friends at Village Honda. They got a big event coming up on Saturday, Rhett. It is the Honda and Acura Show and Shine, 12 till 4 up in the Northwest Auto Mall at your dealership for life, Village Honda. Prizes, I think. All
big deals,
snacks, bevies, and awards. It may be too late to register your vehicle given that it's in 2 days, but it's not too late to put it on your calendar and get up there for 4 hours.
My kids aren't registered for school. I can't get into that. What are you talking about?
I'm not you. Yeah. No. You don't come across as a show and shine guy.
Yeah, maybe not.
Not yet. That's like an empty nester thing when you and the shoveler, you know who it is. It's Dean.
Oh, boom, boom.
The boom cat, when he's an empty nester.
Oh, yeah.
I could see him getting one of those like T-top 1980 something sports cars and like shining it up. And he and his better half zipping around to car shows and just having a coffee and a lawn chair. People want to ask me about my car. I'm right here. I'll talk about it all day. I'll put the hood up, like have a look at that engine. Yeah. He could totally be show and shine guy.
That's what probably motivating him right now. He'll be pumped to get into that role.
100%. Yeah, like his financial advisor would be like, Dean, we have your retirement show and shine plan here. You need to make X amount of money in the next X number of years so you can go be that guy. That's what he's aiming for. That's his blue sky outcome. You can see the show and shine guys, and of course also the 2025 Hondas are as well. Very nice.
25
might be the owner of a Honda Ridgeline in the next few days.
You were mentioning that last.
Very excited. It's an excellent truck. It's very versatile. Check them out and say hello to our pal Anthony and the gang up at Village Honda this weekend, 12 till 4. And of course, they're always buying your used vehicles. You don't have to buy one of their new ones. They'll just buy your used one.
What the hell's Anthony doing, though? Isn't there a Cavs game on Saturday?
He's got a doubleheader to mess with there for sure. Cavs play at 3, but Northwest Auto Mall is right on the ring road. And Cavs are right on the ring.
Take the old ridge line down.
Yes, I think that might be my plan for Saturday. Can I talk you into a Cavs game?
I want to go. But the kids hockey.
Already.
What the hell are they doing?
Maybe it is autumn. You got kid hockey in school. What the hell's happening? I saw a tree that the leaves had turned colors already.
Yeah,
and look at this quitter. Brutal. Let's get to the Pinder Report for Village Honda. We start with some NHL news. This will be a very lighthearted Pinder Report, Jacko, but we lead off with very important news. The video game cover for EA Sports NHL 25, it's 3 brothers, which is kind of cool. There's not many sports leagues where 3 brothers playing, never mind with the star power of Quinn, Jack, and Luke Hughes, 2 Devils and a Canuck. Who's your favorite Hughes kid? Luke's the closest to you. He's the only big guy there.
Jack
could be fun.
He's fun to watch.
Devils getting a lot of love. I was looking at futures on Bet365. They have them favored to win the Metro ahead of Carolina, ahead of the Rangers.
I could see that.
I like a lot of things they've done, but it's like that's a team that missed the playoffs last year, and they're like top 5 odds for the Cup. Like, woo! The books like Bet365 like the Devils. Okay. So that's the hockey news. Hope you enjoyed it.
That was great.
That sucks. 27. Jack, you good? We got a Line A deal, but that was last week. Is that going to work, or you've a red flag vote?
I don't mind the idea of it for Montreal.
It's the right time for them to do it.
Yeah, what?
If it doesn't work, it doesn't cripple them. If it does, maybe you got another core part, or you turn them into a big pile of assets.
Did I read a headline that said that he's a dickhead? Was there guys in Columbus saying, hey, let's not have this guy around?
I'm just waiting for that to not be what you just said. I have not seen that. I know he's gamer. Maybe
no,
if you don't like video
I saw
games.
that. I thought I mean maybe it's
there was a headline that said Patrick Liney's a dickhead.
They said that some of the veteran guys in Columbus had asked the organization that maybe this guy should move along.
Well, he had asked to move along.
Yes, but I think my point being, what is this?
If you told me he was an odd individual, I would buy in. I'd say, yes, I believe that to be true.
So he's a dickhead.
But I don't know that means he's a dickhead. Wow. Do we have to define the terminology here, Jack?
Well, he's a putz then.
Well, I don't think he's a putz. I think he might
then
be.
Then why would his teammates want him out of there?
You know what he is? I think he's an eccentric. An eccentric.
Oh.
Eccentric? Yeah.
A celestial?
Pumpkin spice. Let's move. It's all NFL, boys. I got my first fantasy draft on Friday. Very excited.
Bills looking?
They're looking like a winter weather team. They're not looking like a high-flying offense, I'll tell you that. Who is going to lead the Buffalo Bills in targets this year? The guys catching the ball. I think it's their tight end.
Yes.
It's been a long time since that happened.
Dalton.
Diggs gone.
Dalton and Dawson. Is
Babe
Dawson still there?
Davis gone.
Yeah.
And then it's like you got the young kid they drafted 2 years ago, Coleman, the kid they drafted this winter, and Curtis Samuel. Like, that ain't the high-flying Bills we've watched the last few years.
Watch your mouth.
I think it might work out better for them. Every January, there'd be a foot of snow, and you're like, why are they built to throw the ball? They should be built to run the ball.
Allen
it's James Cook season, boys. James Dalvin Cook, not Dalvin James Cook. They're brothers. So with all the NFL news, we thought we'd find maybe the biggest idiot that plays football. Jack, introduce us to this short fellow here.
I believe this man here is on the American flag football team. He's the quarterback.
Oh, he's quarterback.
And they're talking about bringing flag football into the Olympics or having the NFL players participate.
Well, and even at the Pro Bowl, they're doing flag stuff. Flag is big. With all the head injuries, I think the NFL, this is their technique to stay relevant for the next 100 years.
So this guy, he's not going to lose his job here. He's convinced he's a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes, which means he's a better quarterback at flag. So Mahomes is going to be gunning for this guy's job, but it's not going to happen.
Oh.
At the end of the day, I feel like I'm better than Patrick Mahomes because of my IQ of the game. I know he's right now the best in the league. I know he's more accurate. I know he has all these intangibles. But when it comes to flag football, I feel like I know more than him.
All right.
So how do we feel about that?
Well, it says right on his shirt, he's the GOAT. So how am I going to argue with this guy?
He might be better at flag than Patty, but is he better than Tom Brady at flag? I feel like Tom Brady would slice and dice on flag football.
No, don't you have to be mobile in flag?
I have no idea.
Getting a lot of pressure. There's not a lot of big linemen protecting.
A lot of handoffs. Okay, I don't know anything about flag football. It turns out, someone does a great Chris Collinsworth impression. You know, Chris does the
Patrick Mahomes and his behind the back pass, and really, I think it just comes down to it's about time. I mean, we've been calling for it and calling for it. We've seen the left-handed pass. We've seen, of course, the no-look pass that he's made so famous now. Everybody tries to add it to what they do, and all you can say is, I like a little Mahomie there. And now, of course, the behind-the-back pass. And now I just want to challenge him. Let's see it for a whole game. It could be against the Raiders in Vegas. It could be like a show you see on the strip. He goes out there blindfolded. He's throwing passes. We don't know where they're going. We don't know what he's thinking. All we do know is that when you watch number 15 quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs, all he can say is, wow.
And that's Chris Collinsworth impression. That's fantastic.
That is very
well
good.
done. Who is that guy? That's fantastic stuff. Our football draft, by the way, September 4th.
That's a good day for me. I can maybe
Wednesday.
attend.
Really?
Yeah.
Jack's got like 3 drafts that day.
Yeah, I'm working on getting rid of one of them.
Buddy,
But
how many leagues are you going to be in here?
5.
Oh, 5.
5.
Now, is it just randoms? Are these all pals? Like, you got to consolidate here, man. It's quality over quantity here. Let's go.
One's a keeper league we do every year. One's a league with my dad.
Okay, so that's
Our
one
league.
family, one friends. Yeah.
Our league.
That's work.
And then 2 best ball leagues.
Best ball's a little different. Okay.
Yeah.
So we just got to move these drafts away. I'm getting so much heat. We've had it on the day before the NFL season every single year in this league. And then when I send it out, I get these shocked league members that are like, but I have 2 drafts that day. Like, that's great. This is what we've done for the last 8 years. Like, literally every single year we've had the draft the day before the season starts. Why is this sneaking up on you? So are we going to be after the League the Chains? I don't know if I like that. But I'm excited. That's coming up quick.
What about an afternoon? Oh, we're not changing anything.
I think we should get someone to record a cameo with the draft order too. I've seen some the cameo people doing that. So you could do the not for kids stars in movies. They do that. You could do like some famous celebrities. You know, you could. That'd be a fun way to let the boys know where they're drafting. Wouldn't it? Spend $20 on that. Take it out of the winner's pot. Now, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this guy. Jack was from last year. I sent him a video from this preseason. There are super fans that walk amongst us for all types of sports, but this is the Colts super fan. And Jack, last year, many years, like, when did you become familiar with this fellow?
I became familiar with him last year when the Colts played the Steelers.
Because you're a big Steelers guy.
Yes.
And so when the Colts play a team that week, he does something really unique.
Yes. He makes a song, and it's horrible.
Okay. So even the preseason games, he's writing songs, Rhett. Now, this guy loves his Colts. I know the one of the preseason games against the Broncos. Now, the Colt is a horse and the Bronco's a horse.
Oh, big
one
horse.
of his big lines in the song was, "Let's show him who the real horse is." So we'll see what he says about the Bengals here.
This is our Colts. This is our team. We bleed blue. This is our Colts. Whether win or lose, we love them. For the shoe, beat the Bengals. Let's cook them and eat their stripes. This is our team. Go Colts!
Oh my God. Every week he does a new one. This is holy.
Get him on. He's great.
Jack, can we get him on?
We gotta
Did
get
the Colts play the Steelers?
Yes, they
season?
do again.
They do? They're both AFC.
And that whole game, my buddy sang that song. And it was a Mitch Trubisky Steelers game that got blown out.
They lost to Indy.
They lost
and
to
so
Indy.
the boys just kept
and the
saying,
boys just
"These
sang
are our Colts.
This is our team. Beat the Steelers."
Do we have any Flames fans that do this? I feel like that would really help us in what could be
songs.
a long season.
It's a lot of songs.
Yeah, but you know what he does? He keeps the chorus the same, and he just writes of one verse.
Okay. Hey, I think somebody should, and it ain't going to be me.
No, yeah. Great pipes, though, eh?
Great.
And did you notice at the end, there was a weird noise? I think that's him doing the horse sound.
That is definitely the horse sound.
Can we get the horse sound, Jack? I know that's putting you on the spot.
Great. He's got it dialed in.
And I think because when the Broncos preseason game, that's horse against horse, Colt against Bronco, he gave a really good,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh,
Jesus. Can't get you. Anyway, get ready for a new weekly segment called Colts Guy.
yes. I can't wait. And for all you hockey fans that think you're fans, you're nothing.
No, look at this guy.
Come on, step it up.
Built a freaking studio to sing about his team. That's passion. Oh, you got a car flag. Get out of here.
Season ticket.
Come on. Mike McDaniel's an interesting guy. Did you watch Hard Knocks last year? They had the Dolphins on it. You got a little, because he always came across as like pretty different dude. He started as a ball boy way back when for the Broncos, I think. Here's what South Florida has done to him. You would know. You lived in Miami for a while, right? That's him on the left when he showed up. It's only taken 2 years in Miami for Mike McDaniel to go from Best Buy assistant manager to South Beach cocaine kingpin. Yeah, he looks a little more comfy than the second one.
He's dialed
He's
in.
putting the vibe out. Little guys, he's got the tan. It looks like he's been working under fluorescent lights on the left. He has some sunlight on the right. Vitamin D, right?
Every town you got to keep up with the Joneses, but Miami's a whole different ballgame.
Oh man, just to go back one, I'm seeing in the comments, the Colts need to do their schedule release. This is Danny in the comments. This is a great comment. Throw it up, Jack. Every year that the teams try to outdo each other with their schedule release, you got to bring in the singer. Please.
Yes.
That would be amazing, Danny. Yes. More NFL news. We will also, aside from having Colt Guy as a weekly segment moving forward, we will have we had the Jack Cam.
Yeah.
We've had a tough time getting that up and running. Jack, where are we at on the Jack Cam? Is it
You gotta
operational
go.
for season?
We're not
three?
anywhere closer. No.
Okay. Can we get a Jack chart going? Because I want to. Do you remember last year he was like, they're awesome. They're going to win the
peaks and
division.
the valleys. Yeah.
Like,
Preseason,
Kenny
this is
Pickett's
unbelievable.
completion percentage is the best in the league. They're unstoppable. Tomlin's the best. And then like 2 weeks later, he's like, you got to fire Matt Canada. This guy's a loser.
I was in
ruining
Pittsburgh.
the
You
whole
wanted me to go
team.
kick him in the nuts.
And then it's like, they got a big win. He's like, we're back, baby. We're making the playoffs. Like every week, it was this roller coaster. I was explaining it the other day. He would only be like an 8, 9, or 10 on the confidence scale out of 10, or like a 1, 2, 3. He was never like, I don't know. They're kind of okay. He was always like, we got to burn it to the ground or we're planning a parade route. It was a beautiful thing. So I want to, I guess, challenge our boy RJ to come up with the Jack chart, and we can show week by week as we go through the season. Jack with like an angry face or like a, we just won the World Series or the Super Bowl face. Like we'll chart his emotional trip through the 17-game season.
I feel like it could be daily too. I think you talked a lot about how many. The other thing that I thought this might be where you're going. How many texts prior to the show you would get a random the Steelers stuff you'd get to deal with.
JJ Watt watched practice for the Steelers this week. That was sent to me within minutes, and I'm like, Jesus, Jack, like just imagine, like what? Imagine what? He's been retired for 2 years. Like it's the NFL. You can't roll in your mid-30s. What are you talking about?
He's back.
He was so look, they got nothing for Fields. Oh man, Russell Wilson, how's it going?
Yeah, I can JJ Watt play quarterback.
Yeah, maybe. But he was very confident throughout the before the preseason started. I would have had him like an 8 out of 10 on enthusiasm for the Steelers. Yeah, and then
pretty
Russell Wilson got sacked
games,
3 times and threw for 80 yards. How are we feeling?
Yeah, we're probably at a 1 or a 2 right now. I'm trying not to overreact because last season I was at a 10.
We were trying to explain to you that the preseason means a lot of things, but something isn't one. It really, it means we're close to football that matters. You cannot take anything out of preseason and think you know what's going on. Kenny Pickett was not the best quarterback in the league. You were selling us hard that he was going to lead the Steelers to a championship.
Those 3 weeks, he was the best quarterback.
That's again, preseason does not matter. So what I need you to do is write down all your preseason thoughts
against all the flag football players.
Put that in the garbage. So he lit up the third stringers. Wow,
he was really good against those flag football guys.
So we'll have the Jack chart this year. I'm hoping operational by by week 1. Who do they have week 1?
They have Atlanta.
Ooh,
our Arthur Smith revenge game week 1.
Okay,
there's a revenge game.
Who do the Bills have week 1?
Offensive coordinator.
Do you remember who the Bills play week 1?
No,
I think it's
a Thursday nighter, isn't it?
No, that's
Thursday's
Ravens.
Mondays. They
Sunday
have a
nighter?
lot of night.
Oh, there's a Friday nighter this year as well. So they'll go Thursday night, Friday night, then the Sunday morning, afternoon, night, and then a Monday nighter. Chargers open with the Raiders, and Boom's team, the Bears, are on Hard Knocks. He jumped on a perfect time because they were bad. Like it's going to be a fun year for the Bears. They got that rookie Rome Odunze, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore. That should be a fun offense to watch.
Bills go to LA.
You got the Cardinals are at week 1.
Oh, Kyler. They might be sneaky tough out. They can't defend, but that offense is interesting.
Bills are good.
I'm excited for the NFL. I really am. That's mostly our Pinder Report was NFL. We got some. One more thing. The Raiders drafted Aiden O'Connell. He looks exactly like Farva from Super Troopers. Leader Cola. He's actually not going to be starting quarterback because this guy is with the Raiders. Look at Minshew Mania. Mullets, tarps off, mustache, Creed. How did anyone take this man's job?
I'm just going to sit here and watch this the rest of the day. This is amazing.
Let's loop this. Jack, can we put this on a loop and go for lunch? This is quite a vibe. Yeah, like sucks to be Aiden O'Connell because this alpha's in town.
Yeah, don't be too intimidated when I strut through the dressing room.
When we're 1-0 after beating Harbaugh's Chargers. I'm not sold that my team's going to be good this year. Very measured, calculated, small amounts of optimism. Joey Votto's retired. He was going to come up and play for the Blue Jays, right?
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh.
But this is a reminder of how amazing the Toronto product was. There's a picture, if you're listening, of Joey Votto, with his bat on fire. He posted a 5.10 average. That's 51% of the outcomes were hits, got him on base. On way to becoming a second-round pick for the Reds. Oh, by the way, he was the point guard of his basketball team and the quarterback of the football team at high school as well. That's it's a talented Canadian
dual
boy.
sport athlete.
Try sport.
Wow, try.
Duels too.
More than one.
Triumvirate? Try.
Which is difficult to do in today's age, apparently. If you think
well, they've been asking kids to specialize since they're 3. So yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I've noticed that.
Uh-huh.
They're like, well, we're gonna need your kid to do what?
Listen, we'd like to take him, but have you been on the ice 80 times in the last 30 days? No.
We think it's best that kids don't specialize too early and become great athletes doing lots of sports. But also, by the way, each of these sports will ask you to only play the one sport.
Yeah. Even in the questionnaires, some of the sports ask about other sports.
They're not afraid to ask some things in those questionnaires, eh? Like I know the Western, they go, hey, if we sign you or we draft you, you coming here? Like, I have to tell you now.
Is this legally binding? Do I need McLeod Law?
So in 2 years, I'm not allowed to see what options I have? Interesting. Yeah, I would definitely see if McLeod Law could back up on that one if you get that one. Into the nonsense. I saw the shoveler was out walking the pooches. So you're back in Calgary, you got your dog back.
Got dogs, yeah.
We got a quick soccer update first.
Oh, soccer, that's right. We got Calgary FC, by the way. Sorry, my fault. I got it written right here. In action, Saturday, 3 o'clock, we told you. There's the table. Fellas on a nice little run. Draw, win, 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 win. Heaters.
Those wins we were talking.
And look at that. They're now 4 points out of first. A victory away from second spot in the table. Love to see that. Top 2 is where you want to be for the playoffs because you get a second chance. It's basically double knockout for the top 2 teams. 3, 4, 5, 1 loss, you're done. So you want to get in that top spot. And Tommy's group playing their best footy of the season right now. They're at home the next 2 weekends. Let's take a look at the old sked. It is Pacific this Saturday, 3 p.m. And then next weekend, Friday night, Lights against Valor. Okay. Valor's from Winnipeg.
Oh.
Yeah. Flatlanders.
Dump.
It's a bit of a dump, I've been told. Stabby is what Dean told us. The latest update from Winnipeg. Still Stabby or Stabbier. Okay, to the nonsense now. Shoveler is walking the dogs. We got some video. I don't know why people are always videoing your wife when she's doing stuff, but let's verify this is her for us, could you?
Wow! 还有真的清醒了
Doesn't look like her legs.
这个在网上很火，我见过，他发抖音。
What a talent.
That's good stuff there. That one's a freeloader, eh? I don't know. Next. You had some travel issues, I noticed, hey? Because
Travel's a pain in the ass.
I feel like airline travel now is like what traveling on a bus was 10 years ago. It's that levels. Because this is you trying to come back from Buffalo, and people are giving you a heck for your baggage. So
Guy for real brought his doll on the plane.
And that's your is that the shot? Oh no, that's a doll.
Daddy. They told him he couldn't keep it in the seat.
Oh, so he has to put it up in the
They
carry-on.
really think it's fitting in the overhead compartment.
This can't be real.
This guy for real brought his doll on the plane.
That's there's a level of confidence about
That's
That's Mitch. Yeah. I don't care how what your thoughts on me are. I'm gonna do my thing, and this is my doll, and she says, "Daddy." What's happened to society, right?
We're losers.
What happened to us?
Losers.
What happened to us? Our grandparents went to war. We now travel with dolls on planes. What happened to us? I saw Rob Ray had an issue with the pool the other day.
Snapped.
Yeah, well, I would too, because there's certain things you don't want in your pool. Let's check it out.
Jacob's going in the hole in the pool. Jacob, grab his tail, Jacob! Stop, run, grab his tail. Oh my God. It's slamming here. It's under your foot. You can still grab, oh my God, you can see it.
This is the
it's in there.
area that
it's in there, look at it.
Water.
No, yes, I swear to God. Hold on.
Lift the
Let me
lid.
step on this.
Wait.
Look. Stop! Bro, I swear there's a giant snake in there, bro. He swam right in there. Watch out when you lift it.
the whole thing. He was going in and out of the pool. Where's the all right, let me get the hook. Get the hook.
I know it's not new, but snake swimming is like another layer of I don't like that.
I'm afraid he's gonna come out and just wreck me. Wait. Oh! Bro!
Don't worry about getting close there, hey, lady.
Can you get in from here?
I don't know. There's a hole on the side of the pool. Pull that thing as hard as you can. Pull that thing as hard as you can, bro.
So
get that thing out of here.
Well,
here he goes. Here he goes. Here he goes.
Oh, dear.
Here he goes. Here he goes.
Oh,
my God. Oh, my God. Dude, his head's out there.
I'll let him through.
That is a...
oh, my God. He's going out. Pull. Dude. Grab his tail.
No thanks. What?
Jacob, why? He's coming to me. Jacob, what are you doing? Why are you underwater? He grabbed it underwater. Look at this. Look at this. Doesn't even make sense.
You have got some stone.
Dude, that was the coolest catch.
So if you're just listening, there's a 12-foot snake in your pool, which was what you don't want. But Jacob, who seems to be the pal of the pool owner, not afraid, dives in and from underneath the snake, grabs it at the bottom of the pool and surfaces with this 12-footer wrapping around his arms. Okay, fun. Nightmare fuel. No good. Aussies are funny. There's a good sense of humor amongst the Aussies.
They love a good yuck.
But what's not funny is when you break up with someone, well, you don't want to be a jerk about it, right? Or maybe you do. Let's head down under to see what the latest is in breakups.
Anne's mother has been forced to block dozens of calls after her ex-partner allegedly took her phone number and plastered on poles here around the CBD, telling people to call up and impersonate Chewbacca for a chance to win $100.
This would be the most childish breakup I've ever had. Like, all he had to do was be mature and go, I don't love you anymore, I want to move on.
The calls have been waking her and her 3 young children up at odd hours in the evening, and they're yet to stop.
I won $500.
Well, I'm getting phone calls at really strange hours of the night, about 1 o'clock till 4 o'clock.
Forced to call back the wannabe Wookiees and tear down the posters.
Oh, that's great. Oh, we got to do this to Boom.
Oh, it's so good.
We have to do this to the Boom.
Oh, my God. So if you missed that, break up rather than, spread some mean stuff on social media or just ignore the person. The ex-boyfriend puts up posters on telephone poles saying, call and leave your best Chewbacca impression to $100.
Original.
It's genius.
Very original.
They didn't see the humor in that.
Yes.
The newscaster was disappointed. The mom wasn't happy.
The mom should have phoned and said, we got to get this to work out. This person is great.
I need to hear the Chewbacca screams again. That is so good. It's funny. And
this
then
would be the most childish.
You're like, oh, they're going to play one. They're going to play one. What's it sound like?
Childish breakup I've ever had. Like, all he had to do was be mature and go, I don't love you anymore, I want to move on.
The calls have been waking her and her 3 young children up at odd hours in the evening, and they're yet to stop.
I won $500.
Well, I'm getting phone calls at really strange hours of the night, about 1 o'clock till 4 o'clock.
I'm sorry, that just kills. That's amazing. We need that phone number. No, you're right. We need to do it to Boom.
We got to do it to Boom.
Can we do that to Boom, Jack? Can we set that up?
Get him on
vacation. Do you want to put his number out there for the people?
We need to get him like a work burner and just do that.
Let's find out where he's staying and just put the hotel, put the number.
Call.
Yeah.
Could I have room 412, please?
This is very tempting.
I'm sorry. That's too good. Finally, a red card to end the Pinder Report. There's certain things you can't do, and that's when you get red carded and sent off the field. So we got this looks like a set piece coming, Rhett. That means it's a play where the ball's coming into play. Everyone's aligned. Yeah. It's a corner kick coming up. Let's go to the action.
Lucho Ruiz. Y allá vemos al jugador, le dio ganas de orinar de aguajón, señor. Está orinando. Está miccionando. Oye, está loco, antirreglamentario. Cuidado, el árbitro se le acerca porque parecía que se sacó el pie. ¡Uy, roja! Roja, le expulsan a este muchacho.
Red. See ya.
That's BS.
Can't be ripping a number one before the corner kick, apparently.
This looks like a high-end lead.
Now that ref just had to be looking somewhere. It's like, shoot, he saw me. God. Can't do that. So if you're at Atco Field Saturday at 3 to watch Cavs against Pacific,
don't even try it.
Don't even try to pee on the corner flag. You'll get red carded. You're out of there.
We're not going to put up with this shady business.
That is your Pinder Report for Village Honda. Again, big event Saturday, 12 till 4, the Acura and Honda Show and Shine prizes, as well as all kinds of fun activities going on for the whole family. Come check out some of the nicest Hondas and Acuras in Southern Alberta. Never mind, of course, all the 2025 Hondas rolling in to your dealership for life in the Northwest Auto Mall, Village Honda, villagehonda.com for more. I'm going to be there Saturday.
Purchase
sexy truck.
Yeah.
Vroom, vroom. Putting on all those features. The roo bars at the front. Can't have the kangaroos coming into the windshield, right? Excuse me.
Going down.
Going down. Spring Financial. We know life has unexpected twists and turns. Like if your air conditioner, let's say you move back to Calgary and your air conditioner doesn't work.
When it's 35 out. Yeah.
That wouldn't be like an ideal way for things to go in the middle of summer. Or maybe in the winter, it's like your furnace ducks out on you, right? That wouldn't be ideal. So these are your unexpected expenses, but guess what? You can borrow money for these unexpected expenses, maybe expected for you, right from your phone. You can e-transfer within hours. We're not talking days. You don't have to go to a bank. Spring Financial offers online personal loans from $500 up to $35,000 with no stress, no branch visits ever. You can join thousands of happy customers who have made Spring Financial Canada's top-rated lender. Apply in 3 minutes. 3 minutes? You got 3 minutes.
Easy peasy.
springfinancial.ca/barn. That's springfinancial.ca/barn.
Looking for the fastest personal loan in Canada? Well, look no further. Spring Financial offers fully online personal loans with zero stress and no need for branch visits. But don't take our word for it.
Thank you. Thank you, Spring Financial.
Thank you very much.
Spring Financial is the best.
Apply today at springfinancial.ca.
For all you hybrid children parents.
Oh. Has your air conditioner stopped working? Has your water cooler crapped out? Did your child decide to be a goalie? Unexpected costs can arise. Oh my God. I thought hybrid, I was a genius. And now I'm like, what have I done here?
Well, we never thought you were a genius. So
no, but I always did. That's the challenge I have, is that I'm sure I'm a genius. And everyone else is like, who's this idiot?
It's playing out.
Me in a nutshell. That's why the show's entertaining. We all think we're right. We're just 3 idiots. Okay. Weekend plans. You got kids getting on the ice for tryouts.
Yes,
already?
oddly, it
Evals?
feels like this is really sped up's not the word. It's early.
It's happening.
Yeah.
I'm like, August 22nd. Okay, we're still a ways away. And then it's
like I'm thinking we could plan a week-long vacation, maybe rent an RV,
maybe get up to the coast, get to a lake,
get some mountain
boat
scenery. Not when you're in a sport and you gotta focus on that damn sport.
You know what I'm not enjoying is it's actually really nice out and hoodie, shoes rather than
you gotta
sandals.
have a bag with you.
I was at a Crowchild rink in the north yesterday. I'm like, this thing is cold. Like, no pub up top. What are we doing at these? We're building arenas with no restaurant pubs up top.
Dumb
people. Come on now. Please let me give you my money, please. I can have a Montreal smoked meat sandwich.
Oh, they used to have
single origin and watch his kids play hockey.
Just down the road here, there used to be an unbelievable beef dip. I don't know if it's the same anymore.
The rink here's got to figure it out. That's the best restaurant in the league right there. You said the wife's been out of town for a while. You want to let people behind the curtain and what she's been up to?
Not really, but she was sent back to Buffalo to pack and then drive across the country.
Pack your ass. That's what you told her.
Yeah.
But this leads
just a
us
short
to believe
stint.
She was packing the family's belongings, not just her. She wasn't leaving per se. She was gathering the family's items.
She's yet to leave me. And she left and is returned with a whole bunch of stuff.
Do you have room for all this stuff? I know you have a large house.
Oh, lots of room. I mean, I did go into the office yesterday.
Office?
Yeah. And noticed that I hadn't been in there for 2 years. And there was things in boxes that had been there for probably 5 years prior to my 2 years. So there's a lot of things.
You need a purge. That's no fun. Yeah. You're going to find
Purging's fun. I like purging. Purging is a good day.
You got to be ruthless, and you feel good when it's done.
You do.
Yeah.
You grab it, and you're like, I throw it away.
I told you last month we got rid of our stroller. That's exciting. My kids turned 9. 9 in weeks.
I have, the shoehorn now because I'm too old to put my shoe on.
Yeah.
And I hang it on our diaper bag.
Oh, my God. Are you serious?
Yes.
And your youngest is what, 11, 12?
The old Gucci diaper bag that was a must have.
Yeah. The good news is when she was gone, you didn't bother her with your snoring.
No.
I assumed you were sleeping alone while she was gone.
Most nights.
Now that you're back, there's no more excuses. You got to go see Dr. J at Outdoor.Dental because, of course, they've got the Soleil laser. It'll help your snoring considerably. I know my better half appreciated my visit.
You won't need the divorce court.
I haven't noticed much different. My wife is sleeping much better, apparently.
Yeah.
So the Soleil laser, they'll pass it along the soft palate in the back of your throat. That's the flappy part. It tightens up a bit, doesn't flap, not as much snoring. Outdoor.Dental for more. And good news, we got dental medical benefits. Most of that's going to be covered. It's like, okay, so I'm getting better sleep and my partner doesn't have to deal with my snoring. They're getting better sleep. Everyone's a winner.
Deal with your S at Outdoor Dental.
Deal with your S. Outdoor Dental. Outdoor.Dental. Final segment for the day. Big hello and welcome to our pals at Bet365. Proud partners, Barn Burner. We're going to take a look at some of the odds around futures.
Blue Jays making the playoffs? No.
That's going to pay a big number because it ain't happening. I don't believe mathematically even they could do that. If you open an account with Bet365 today, you could bet on a huge range of markets. I'm talking a ton. I think they've got like dozens of player point totals for next year you can go over under on. That's a ton of fun to look at. So no matter what the sport is, whatever the sport, whatever the moment, never ordinary at Bet365. You want to sign up? Use promo code FN bonus. That's code FN, like FlamesNation bonus, FN bonus. Check that out. Today, couple for you to look at. I told you about the point totals for players. Let's start with the favorite for the Calder Trophy. I was looking at the futures. Calder's Rookie of the Year. It is none other than Matvei Michkov, who the Habs famously passed on. He slid all the way to what, 7?
Is he coming? When is he coming?
He's here. He threw out the first pitch for the Phillies. They released him. I think SKA St. Petersburg let him go. His father tragically passed a few years ago, and they said, we think we want to do right by the kid, send him over. They probably got paid by the Flyers to say that, but he's over in the NHL. He's a stud. He's favored to win the Calder. And if you're going to win the Calder, you're probably going to put up some points as a playmaking forward, right? So just Bet365 alone is telling me the over should be a really good move here. 46.5 points. If he's winning the Calder, he's getting more points than that. He's also going to have all kinds of opportunity in Philly. Love the over, 46.5 points. And I think Mishkov's going to be a star that Habs fans will regret forever not drafting. But they also got Ivan Demidov this year, so they're going to be fine with the Russian skill guys. Another total. I didn't know where to go here, and I actually thought we could turn it into a segment on the show, but I'll ask you this. They've got over-under win totals on Bet365 for goalies. Let's have a little peek at Dustin Wolf. Last year, a record of 7-7-1 in 15 starts. Dan Vladar was 8-9-2 in 19 starts. And Devin Cooley, who came over 2-3-1 in 6 starts. So everyone right around 500 or a game under 500. We don't know how the workload's going to go. We do know there's 82 games they're going to play, and those are the 3 guys that love the first crack at playing. 20.5 wins for Dustin Wolf.
I say that's high.
It feels high, but it's also like we asked what a successful Dustin Wolf season would look like on the show with Pike the other day. And like if he should probably start more than half if things are going well. Or not.
I'm thinking he's half no matter what.
I would hope so. If it's not half, it probably hasn't gone well.
Yeah, my brain went, well, he's half immediately.
Yeah.
And if he's playing all right, he's 50 plus.
So if he's, let's call it 45 starts, you'd have to be within 5 games of 500. This is some very rough math here.
I just don't.
I don't know how good the team's going to be in front.
That's my concern is that 20 points is
20 wins. Yeah,
20 wins is 40 points. Like I don't even. What are they going to end up with for points?
We can go Bet365 and see what they're projecting.
Another one. So then, just like the Mitchkov thing, well, if he's going to be the Calder
reverse engineer,
yes.
What are the pundits over at Bet365 think about the Flames point total? Okay, well, we'll research that because I agree. I think he should play more than half. If he's not, I feel like it's like there's room for concern. Something's gone wrong, whether it's an injury or it's like this is such a S show we can't expose him to all this,
or Vladar's really
or he's
good.
not played well. If Vladar playing well would be great. If Dustin Wolf had a great season, but Dan Vladar was just insanely great, that would be an amazing development for the Flames because they'd clearly trade him at the deadline and get assets.
Yeah, it's
just we've been waiting for that for Dan Vladar for 3 years, and it still hasn't happened. Where he has that run where you're like, oh yeah, here it is. Well, I mean, do it this year, Dan. Being positive. Get Connie to turn you into a second rounder. Let's go, buddy. Let's go. Again, a huge range of markets, whatever the sport, whatever the moment. It's never boring. It's always something going on at Bet365. And there's your code in the top right corner, FN bonus. If you want to get loaded up for funds on the NFL season, NHL futures, it's a fun time to look at what's going on there at Bet365. Thanks for jumping on. Love you. They're very good at what they do.
Quit watching snake videos and do some research.
Let's get going here. We're going to figure out, reverse engineer the Dustin Wolf win total. That is it for the show today. Thursday is today, the 22nd. When we come back next, it'll be Tuesday of next week, and we will be rolling prospects 5 through 1, part 2 of our top prospect show for the Calgary Flames. Ryan Pike and myself. Will it be 3 years of Dustin Wolf at the top, or is quest for a three-peat thwarted by another prospect? That is the storyline heading into the top 5. It's a funner show to do than it has been in many years in the past. There's a lot of interesting parts in the system.
Kids there you want to talk about?
Yeah, and look, they're not there isn't a huge stable of future stars, but there's a lot of intriguing players that could be interesting. I think, Perrick is clearly one that's on the path for stardom. Whoever they draft the next 2 summers in their pick should be someone of a similar ilk, but there's a lot of B pluses and B prospects in there that have some interesting skill sets.
Well, they better turn out.
Yeah, you need to push
extend things a little bit.
Seriously, new buildings, 3 years opening up. You told me it's autumn. 3 autumns from now, that rink's open.
Yeah, it's autumn already. Pumpkin spice, get some.
Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you, Barneys, and we'll see you next week with more top prospects and maybe even a 3-person live show from a studio. Also, we're recording one of the all-time greats. Will be sitting down with us from the Flames organization next week. Look forward to that between now and the start of the NHL season. See you, buddies.